All right, it looks like we are live. Let me just double check. Refreshing the page. Here we go. We've got an ad. I've never seen this product before. I don't want to name it because I don't want to give them the free publicity. We're getting a second ad. Skip. Okay, cool. We are live. Love that. Welcome in, everybody. It is a Sunday. We are excited because we have the opportunity to start a whole new streak tonight. How often do we get that opportunity? Fairly often, I guess. But I'm excited. I think this is going to be a good one. You know, knock on wood. So, getting this kicked off, I am entirely unsure. Roy Shea saying, yo, often low key. What is often low key? We're yeah, I don't know. This kind of looked Mediterranean at the start, and now it's I'm not sure. The hills. Oh, here we go. This will be Greece or something. It'll be in Greek. Yep, it's in Greek. I'm just that smart. Ah, yes. Starting a new streak often is low-key. Here we go. We are somewhere. This is Bangladesh. It's Trekker, and it's number 2. I don't feel like spending time on this. It's Madagascar. Okay. AM hopping in to say you and you, sir, are an American hero. Thank you, AM. Appreciate it. Don't think I've ever heard AM say anything else. It's some of the few words, but they're very good words. I like those words. This kind of looks like... Okay, well, that's English. .cz. I was going to say this kind of looks like Polish. W. Dig checking in from the Atlanta airport. Awesome. How was Tallahassee? We are indeed so back, W. Dig. This is Polish. Awesome. Just going. There we go. This is Slovenia. But I don't have evidence to support that. So we've got to meander around for a bit. I'm waiting for some signs. It just feels very like the stone media. Like this isn't protecting anything from going over. It feels like out of date infrastructure. You know, potentially Warsaw Pact adjacent country. Slovenia, obviously, Slovenia wasn't Warsaw Pact, but hold up. In the kind of communist world. Bar, restaurant. Yeah, I don't know. I do not know. W. Dig saying Tally was awesome. Was my first big state school game day, and FSU crushed it. Well, don't love hearing that. This is not a Florida State Seminole friendly stream. This is a Florida Gator stream. This is Albania. But I'm glad to hear you had fun. Who did they beat? I did see a bunch of FSU hoodies around town today. And those were the... Where's Freezite? We need them. We get the Pollo. Is this Peru? This could very well be Peru. Let's see. I've never heard of that place, but that kind of sounds Incan. W. Dig saying sorry for the Gators yesterday. Rory Shea saying go Gators, exactly. W. Dig saying okay, Kent State, yeah, so it wasn't really going to be close. I didn't realize the Gators lost. I honestly, I was hoping to get a country code off that. Let's look at this sign up here. Yeah, I have no clue who the Gators played. I don't actually follow college football, if I'm honest. But I do have it. Okay, this is a Peruvian highway ignoring that. Christopher Like saying hello. Hello, Christopher Like. Welcome in. This is Nigeria. Awesome. This is gonna be Western Germany. And then I'm gonna look stupid when it's not. I don't know what flag that is. There we go. We love that. That looks like a German-esque flag. Ignoring that. I don't know that plate. WDick saying, dang, Croatia. Yeah, and then saying it's Ireland. I think it could be Ireland if I'm so honest, but let's hold up. I do want to take this seriously and not... I hate the habit that I have of it being early game and just sending things for the sake of it. White plates, front and back. Because that's just how we never get anywhere, and in my head it's like, oh, this is quicker and more efficient, but it does hold us back, I think. WDick saying, send for the YOLO. Ah, okay. As I say, this is something I have a problem with. There we go. WDick Big Brain. I'm so glad that I was so correct with that Western Germany guess. Malaysia. Or it's Malaysia or Indonesia. Or that's a Thai flag right there. That's a Thai flag. What language is that? Avgift, Taxa, Garage. What language is this? Yeah, WDick's like, I think. Dumpling Man saying hello. Welcome in, Dumpling Man. We got Scottish House, Hobart, Stockholm. Okay, I'll take this to be Sweden. We're back. We're back on the up and up. We got one. Now we're on a road. Balkan-looking road. What's that plate? Not getting much from the plate. What's that plate? Too far away. See, this is why it's just too fun to YOLO early rounds. Is because it's just, I don't want to go along this road forever. Ancora Differenzas. See, this is one of those moments where all the Latin languages just mush together in my brain. Yeah, WDick saying Portugal maybe. Portugal doesn't use de that often though, if at all. Because for masculine it's do. I think they use de, but I don't know. Like, this seems almost Italian. Rio de Janeiro. Yeah, okay, cool. Thank you. Thank you. So they do, it's just not as often. That's the Portuguese. That's 100% Portugal. Il Tired has arrived. Welcome in, Il Tired. Guys. Yeah. Yeah, Christopher likes saying if you keep YOLOing, we will never get a sufficient streak. I know. No more. This is Ireland. Yep. Il Tired saying not a good time to arrive. No, really not. But got some easy ones back to back there. This is Luxembourg. We just do that. Yep. See, look, it's not always a horrible. I don't know. It can work. You shouldn't do it. Bad practice. Sun's to the north. So this is likely. And driving right-hand side. This is Argentina. I shouldn't have said that because this will end up... Yeah, there we go. Wait, that doesn't make sense. Oh, no. Yep, driving on the left-hand side. I'm an idiot. Wow. I fully... brain fart. Okay. Yep, that is indeed Australia. This one. This is Latin America. This will be Chile or Argentina, and I'm just going to stop using words. I need to shut up. Okay. I'm assuming this is in Jordan. Yeah. W Dig laughing at that. I need to stop just talking about the vibes. Municipality of Man. So I would initially think Jordan. Yeah, W Dig saying thinking Jordan too. Iltired saying wait. Don't worry. Could be Oman. That's a good one. So what is it, man? I realize it's not remotely the correct pronunciation. I wouldn't know where to start with pronouncing that correctly, so I'm just gonna have to live with that one. Oh man. Drew saying, I thought you were supposed to be good at this game, scrub. Dumpling Man saying, I think it's Jordan IDK. This is chat assisted, right? Yes, this is chat assisted. Okay, Iraq, Saudi. This is Jordan. Christopher likes saying getting the popcorn out to watch the comedy show. It's okay. There's Matt. Wow, it was pretty visible on the map and didn't see it. Love that. This isn't. You know what? This isn't going. This is the Netherlands. Wait. No, it's. I need to stop saying things. I think it is the Netherlands. Yes, it is. Let me just find something to prove that. Never mind, it's Denmark. I'm just gonna stop opening my mouth. Yeah. Whoops. There we go. Danish ribbon flag. See, it's not a comedy show. We've got this. We're at 7 now. 7's where we have to log in and stop being stupid. So this is either north of India or Bangladesh. This is Bangladesh. Drew repeating himself with the I thought you were supposed to be good at this game, scrub. Says the guy. Can someone pull up Drew's dumb test results? Do we need to revisit that? I've shown that to people. To show them what the stream is. Yes, no, we do love a good ribbon flag. Dumpling Man telling Drew to stop being mean. I like this. Let's all hop on Drew. It's Dumpling Man, for context, Drew is kind of a meme. I'd say Drew's a meme. I wouldn't even call him like a character. He's just a meme. It's not respected enough to be a character. Dumpling Man saying, oh, okay. No, Drew can say whatever he wants. It falls right off. I'm heavily thinking Bangladesh here. And Drew saying humbling Ewan is my number one job in life. That probably doesn't pay too well. So, bro's probably living on the streets. Best friend meme, same thing. Lame. This is Bangladesh. I want to be able to just press the button and say that it's Bangladesh, but I don't want to go back to 0 if I'm wrong. It is. I know it is. Does anyone object to Bangladesh? I've got this. 100%. Let's just keep looking around a bit. I feel like the shrubs seem... Okay, WDig saying send. There we go. Oh, Iltired saying eh. Well, it was right. So, we're good. Again, I want to say Jordan. I'm pretty sure we've seen these taxis in Jordan before. These are Jordanian taxis. Almost certain of that. Anything we can get else that's helpful? What's this bin? Hold on, this kind of looks like an Omani bin. It's not an Omani bin. Okay. So let's keep going. That's one of those things where it's like, man, like we were talking about last week, just having very just pointless knowledge. You know, knowing what an Omani dumpster looks like will never be helpful in any situation other than this. Yeah, Drew saying the taxis look Jordanian. Why do you know this, Ewan? You do this enough and you learn it. That's a Jordanian taxi. Watch this. It's a Jordanian taxi. Does anyone object to Jordan? They have that little green thing there. That's what a Jordanian taxi has. That's one of those things. It's eventually, if I ever go to Jordan, I'll see the taxis and it's going to blow my mind. Like how it was when I went to Kyrgyzstan. See? It was a Jordanian taxi. Like when I went to Kyrgyzstan and saw the Kyrgyz plates and was like, wow, this is crazy. I'm so excited to finally have seen this. WDig saying send. I'll keep enabling this. No, don't enable the YOLO. We can't be YOLOing. True saying I need Freezite to ridicule you too. No, thankfully for right now it's just you in here doing that. This is feeling... I have a couple very loose thoughts on this, and I'm inclined to keep them to myself so I don't say something stupid. Right-hand drive. Oh, interesting plate color. Yellow plates? Dutch? Oh, yep, and these names... Okay, it's hard to read them. We gotta go back. Awesome! I love that. This is helpful. Mickelbach, Mertzig, Dumpling Man saying Luxembourg. I think you are right. These are more Germanic names. And Luxembourg, of course, also has the yellow plates. WDig saying, yep, Lux, let's do it. Awesome. Good teamwork there. See, teamwork beats YOLOing any day. This is US. No, why is that sign on that side? See, I just need to stop opening my mouth. Alright, let's go this way. Yep, Dumpling Man saying New Zealand. Again, inclined to side with you on that. So this will be, yeah, power at East Road. That sounds Maori. With a little bit of English slipped in there. Sammy Marco jumping in, saying, hello, GeoYappers. Welcome in, Sammy Marco. Hope things are well. Campbell and Green Contracting. So this is, and we've been shot back to over here. So this is very clearly Australia or New Zealand. I would lean New Zealand. Yeah, look at that map. This is New Zealand. Does anyone object to New Zealand? Dumpling Man saying, hello, Yapper Nation. Along the Yapper Nation. That's a new one. No Geopimps, only the Yapper Nation. We're Rihanna. That sounds Kiwi. 100%. Oh, W Dig saying, shout out Virginia Tech for getting their first win this weekend. Sammy Marco, did you celebrate that? Who is it against? Alright, I think we're safe. Nope. New Zealand, there we go. Ooh, Christopher Lexington just had a Pizza Hut Flats pizza, small, and the cats and dogs wanted it. I'd imagine they would. I can imagine the smell. I'm already hungry now. I'm already hungry. Oh, Wofford. I knew that. I was talking about it with people yesterday, actually. I just forgot. But yeah, a win is a win. Oh, okay. Sammy Marcus saying, I don't really care about football. Fair enough. All right. Yeah, Dumpling Man saying Faroe Islands. I think you may be right. Yep. .fo. W Dick saying Iceland here. Nah, we're going Faroes. Be good with that? Oh, back to no YOLO. Back to consensus democracy. Sammy Marcus saying Eagles won on a field goal return. That is, Drew did feel the need to text me to let me know about that. He said Rams with the generational fumble. Hopefully the Eagles cannot pull it out next week. Let's hope they get blown out. We feeling like a 30-0 next week against the Eagles. Eagles with the nothing. All right, let's do this. Love it. Ill Tired saying I have a homemade pizza in the oven with homegrown tomatoes and peppers. I was gonna ask. Food got brought up. Got to ask what Ill Tired's making. Portuguese flag right here. We good with that? That's homegrown tomatoes and peppers. I love that. It's so nice. I genuinely thought I ate enough before the stream today. Ooh, Dumpling Man saying Italy. This is Portuguese here. Yeah, W Dick saying okay this time it's Portugal. Wow, Sammy Marco saying imagine being a Bucks fan. Yeah, imagine being 3-0. Must be terrible. And Dumpling Man saying oops, my bad. It happens. It happens. This kind of looks like Italian. That's like French. No, this is just Italian, isn't it? You were just seeing into the future, that's all. Okay, Tired saying I think I've been to that square. Was that in Lisbon? Attenzione pickpocket. Drew saying it'll be my birthday weekend and I'll be at the game, which means the Eagles will lose. Every time Drew goes to Ray J to watch the Eagles, they lose. And A, hilarious. B, I don't remember what B was actually. Yeah, just hilarious. Sucks to be Drew. Imagine every time the team you like comes to town, you have to watch them lose. You're that much of a bad luck charm. Exactly. Sammy Marco saying Drew, bad omen. All right, this is Italian. Are we good with Italy? Okay, yeah. El Tad saying, yeah, it is Lisbon. There's a good egg tart place along the side. I don't think I know what an egg tart is. He said, Dumpling Man saying, bruh. The Drew being the bad omen. I gotta look up what an egg tart is. Egg tart. Interesting. I still don't know what that is. I'll have to deep dive that later. Drew saying not every time, just 7 out of 9. That's crazy. At least the last 5-6 years that Drew has gone to Eagles games in Tampa, they've lost all of them. From what I remember. It's always funny. You see his like Snapchat or Instagram story. He blows so much money on the seats. He gets so close to the field. Get 3 rows back just to watch the Eagles get stomped on every time. And it is so funny. It's so funny watching the game from like a bar or at home and spending no money to like $20. And then Drew has emptied out his bank account to watch the Eagles get annihilated. Okay, we good with Italy? Let's do it. Nice. Okay. Snazzy. I'm saying pastel de nata, something like that. Cake of nothing. The egg tart. I'm still confused about that. Drew saying the worst was the playoff game. Drew has actually watched the Eagles come to Tampa and lose in 2 playoff games, so I don't even know which one he's talking about. Dumpling Man saying Iceland. I can get behind that here. I think these are Icelandic road markings too, here on the sides. The dashes, I'm pretty sure, are Icelandic, whereas the Faroes have solid lines. Same with Norway. Okay, pastel de... Okay, WD calling it something different. But apparently that is... The pastel de nata is also a thing that is good. Okay. Is that the... I'm food confuses me. You all know this. Food confuses me. Sammy Marco asking, is Drew an Eagles fan? Drew is unfortunately an Eagles fan. Sometimes you just don't get to pick your friends and stuff like that happens. Okay, it is the same thing. Cool. I think we're safe on Iceland here with the dashed lines. What do people think? Drew saying losing a playoff game to Brady wasn't embarrassing. Losing the one to Baker was rough. The one to Baker was funny. What's this gonna be? Land of... Oh, Ice and Fire. I thought that was a K. It was an I and a C together. Saxhole. This just is Iceland. Any objections? W Dick saying, hey, not too much on the Eagles fans. No. No. It's what you get for being an Eagles fan. Let's do it. Awesome. Sammy Marco quoting, food is confusing, you in 2025. That's right. That's what I thought I'd be saying at 26 years old. Furka, I don't know why. I read this. I like sounded it out in my head. It was like Furka and then saw it there. I'm not amazing at reading signs in their entirety. So, dual script, yellow sign. What's this going to say? The municipality of Dojran. That sounds more Western Balkan. Yeah, Dumpling Man saying North Macedonia. Yeah, Sammy Marco saying I do the same with Cyrillic signs. Like you read it and then you realize it's in Latin under it. I could go with North Macedonia. I could go with Serbia. I'm definitely more on the... I don't know. I don't think this is somewhere we're going to find by scrolling around on the map. So let's keep looking here. Little hilly. Drew saying he wants a McPizza. Drew has the ability to go get a McPizza. And so does W Dig, really. W Dig, if you were to rent a car right now, I don't know when your flight home is, but if you were to rent a car at the Atlanta airport right now, it would only take you 6 hours to get a McPizza in Orlando. EU plate, that kind of looks... we'll ignore it. European plate, but Serbia uses those two despite not being EU, so it tells us nothing that we didn't already know. Deadly. Okay. Ooh, Il Tired's pizza just got out of the oven with the homegrown tomatoes and peppers. So jealous. Sammy Marcos saying, is there not a McDonald's at the airport? There definitely is a McDonald's at the Atlanta airport, but they don't have a McPizza at the Atlanta airport. Only place you get a McPizza is the one specific Orlando McDonald's. Yeah, Dumpling Man saying North Macedonia, I think, but I could be wrong. I do agree. I just want to be more careful now that we are not in the YOLOing numbers anymore. Okay, well, there's Dojran down here, and there's literally Furka, Dojran. We're in North Macedonia. Let's do it. Love it. Drew saying, yeah, there probably is, but don't have McPizzas. W Dick saying that's like 6 more hours than I have. We're boarding right now. Disappointed. You could have had a McPizza. You were in Florida. You could have had a McPizza. What a shame. And these plates... I think I see the absolute faintest little Ukrainian flag there on the left side of this. Can anyone see that? Or just confirmation bias here? I feel like that's there. Or is that just the EU thing? Semi Marco asking where you go. Here we go. That's EU. That's a Romanian flag on it. That's what it is. So this should be in Romanian, which should be pretty easy to see. Yep, this is Romanian. It's that simple sometimes. Boom. Yep, Dumpling Man called it with Romania or Hungary. WDig saying, "What? Is this the first time I'm hearing about McPizza?" WDig saying, flying back from Tallahassee. Okay, Iltired saying, "I don't see the Ukrainian thing because it wasn't there. It was not there." Drew saying, "Ewan kept the McPizza secret from you, WDig." No, we have talked about the McPizza on the stream. It is by no means a secret. Drew is just an instigator. I'm having a cough drop. I don't know if you can hear it in my voice. But, oh, speaking of, this is also the Philippines. Hold up. No, I haven't been to this McDonald's. Have I been to this McDonald's? No, I haven't been to this McDonald's. Okay, this is the Philippines. Have I been to... No, I haven't. Been to a different McDonald's. What was I saying? Yeah, exactly. Christopher likes saying McPizza is a legendary item at the Disney World McDonald's. It's not I wouldn't call it the Disney World McDonald's because it's Disney World's out. Where is it? Champions Gate. I feel like I should be embarrassed that I can't. There we go. Here it is. Right here. And then the McPizza McDonald's is around here-ish. This feels like Estonia. What was I saying? Oh yeah, throat. I like got sick and then fixed the mold. Magyar. This is Hungarian. Fixed the moldy AC, but now the new one they gave me I think is also just not good, and my throat just hasn't been able to recover from being sick and the mold poisoning, and now this AC. But my throat was totally fine in Australia, so I've kind of deduced that it is the AC unit, so the AC's off now, but throat bad. We'll need new AC unit. Yep, Dumpling Man saying India. I completely agree. Anyone object? Indian flags. Yeah. Drew saying, I replied with a picture of a McPizza. I feel like we've mentioned this before on the stream. It was... We went to get the McPizza. And this is... what's the name of it? Lesotho. I don't know why it's spaced there. I'm pretty sure this is Lesotho. Look around. But basically, we secured a McPizza, and Drew, I feel like you all have had enough experience with Drew at this point to understand him as a person. He was talking to this girl. She had sent him a bunch of Snapchats that he had not opened yet. And just still had not opened them, sent her a picture of the McPizza and just captioned it McPizza. And then he opened the Snapchats from her, and they were her like having a mental breakdown and freaking out and crying. So without knowing it, Drew replied to her breakdown and crying with McPizza. Like the picture of the pizza and the text that just says McPizza. Because Drew is brilliant. Yeah, WDig saying, wait, that's so sad, OMG. Yeah. Yeah, I don't think she was a fan of that. Things did not go well there. Yeah, Sammy Marco saying Drew fumbling hard with his Snapchat girls. For real. For real. Bro, just... It's Drew. What are you going to expect? Why does it not say Lesotho on things? It just is... The specialists. The specialists in Lesotho. Pest control in Lesotho. Pestcontrolspecialist.com. Yay, I don't... That's not helpful. What do we have up here? Is that bus? Hold up. No. It looked like the South Africa bus that we've seen in Lesotho before, and I was like, oh, it's clearly South Africa. And then it was Lesotho, and the South Africa bus was just in Lesotho. That looks like a web address right there. Drew asking, what do you mean the South Africa bus? There's a bus. This one sounds less weird, actually. There's a bus that you see all over South Africa that has the South African flag on it. And we saw it in Lesotho one time. If we had a clear view of this sign, it would be incredibly helpful. Hold up. Bulhane Flats. Any chance... No. Thought maybe this was a city name. Unfortunately, I do not believe so. Let's look what's going on here. World Vision. At least we're in a fairly built-up area. A lot of the times where we get Lesotho, it's middle of nowhere, and we really have nothing to go off of. We eventually get it. Swaziland. Got it. Done. Out of there. This one feels all over the place. Palm trees. This is Balkan. This has to be Balkan. Exactly, W. Dick. The plot twist. You never expect it to be Eswatini. You always think it's Lesotho. And then it's Eswatini. This Akbank, 24-hour cash, Luxor Market. Oh, Turkish flag. Yeah, this is Turkey. Sportland Gym. Yeah, this has got to be Turkey. Let's do it. Yeah, the C with the... Exactly. Christopher likes saying we've seen the South Africa bus in Botswana, too. I don't remember seeing it in Botswana. That's wild. This is Hong Kong. Or there's a chance this is Singapore. It's Singapore. Singaporean flags right here. Yeah, W Dick saying Singapore, Hong Kong for sure. Easy. And we get that, and then we get a random road. Isn't that so fun? I love when that happens. So we are okay. Floria Fest. That's odd. Let's say okay, Trevina. I thought that said Tirana right there, so I was confused. Festival Sadivnitva. Semi Marco asking, is that Ukrainian? Oh, the Ukrainian eye. Where is it? I don't see it. Where do you see that? Wait, yeah, the fourth letter in the second word. That's not Russian. That I shouldn't be there if it were Russian. And it's not dual script, but yep, W Dixon, gotta run, I'll keep the streak going, will do, have a safe flight, enjoy yourself. Yeah, I mean, it's pretty much, it's single script from the looks of it, and it's not Russian. So, I want to look at one other sign. Okay, yeah, here we have dual script. So, I'm Leopolis. I'm less... That says stadium, arena... Lviv. Man, reading this is crazy. Okay, I guess it says it right there. Again. Less impressive, but I mean, it says it. Yep, there we go. Okay. Mina Furman. Drew saying Leopolis is Ukraine. I feel like Drew wouldn't know that. Drew shouldn't know that. I'm looking around. Yeah, I don't know. Sammy Marco saying no, Ewannnawe Cyrillic, he's a goat. Exactly. We're learning. Went in Bulacan, Filipino breakfast and Oriental. Oh, this is Tagalog. I think this is just... Yeah, this is the Philippines. Niño's this guy's last name. This is the Philippines. Sammy Marco saying if it's near Belarus, Drew might know about it. Christopher Like saying there's so many jokes told with that name. I didn't even see the... I don't know which name we're talking about. I didn't catch it. Okay. Mongolia. Yeah. Hogjil? We're in Hogjil. Yeah, this is Mongolia. No question. Easy. This is just the Philippines. Concrete Road. No, I meant Indonesia. I misspoke. And that's what just happened. I misspoke. Iltard saying Ong Daddy's sign. What's that? This is Madagascar. Yeah. Anyone object to that? This is Madagascar. I'll leave it for a second just in case. 27's not bad for 44 minutes away. Yeah, Tired saying it's the same village. Christopher likes Andrew. There's always that Madagascar beach we end up in. All right, let's do it. We seem to be... Yep, there we go. Always there. That's one of those cool ones. I feel like without context, if you were to just watch us load in and me be like, oh yeah, Madagascar, you'd be like, how do you do that? Yeah, same beach, exactly. It's always that same spot. What's this green plate? I'm thrown off. I love mountain spawns, because then you just have to spend forever descending the mountain. Like 20 whole minutes. Just, here we go. That I didn't expect. Why is that in English? Notice no cutting trees property. Yeah, Christopher likes saying we've come in on a boat, cow, horse, and foot on that beach. That's correct. Like, that is crazy. Yeah, Eltard saying weird thought Nepal, Bhutan, then saw the text, so now I'm not sure. I was kind of thinking that as well. And it still could be. English, because of the proximity to India, maybe. Welcome to where? Bergie Bainty. Well, let's go in so we can see what this is. This looks like an Airbnb. Dumpling Man saying Philippines. Drew saying US. Run it. Big brain, Drew. Philippines would shock me, but maybe not a ton. Like, I see where you're getting at with that. Come on, let's keep going here. We do have the concrete roads, which is a Filipino thing. We're definitely in Asia, right? Probably. Iltar pointing out right-hand drive. So that eliminates Malaysia, Indonesia. Not that it was going to be either of them. This... What if this is the Philippines? This is, If this is the Philippines, I'm going to be upset that I didn't go here. Just need words or the political signs that are always up. Bestakia. That's the Filipino flag right there in the middle. Basketball, massive in the Philippines. I'm pretty confident that's the Filipino flag up there too. Yeah. Dumpling Man, spot on. Wow. Nigeria, follow car, right-hand drive. English? No. No. Okay. I'm going to go with Mexico then. So we've got front plates. Sorry, I realized I'm crunching on the cough drop. I was genuinely having a hard time breathing earlier when I was swimming. It was such a nightmare. I was like, oh, I'll do more than normal today because I have time because it's a Sunday. So it doesn't, I'm not really pressed for time or like having to go to bed soon. And then I just couldn't breathe. It was horrible. Brava. Yeah. I did have a conversation with a friend on Friday who's in my Russian class with me. And it's funny because anytime I sound something out in English, or written with Latin script, and it's a word I don't know, and you're like, okay, what is that? I'll accidentally use the Russian alphabet. So, like, looking at that H back there, the H makes an N sound in Russian. So in my head, that went Brandva or whatever. And I had to actually correct myself and say, no, that's not what that letter sounds like in English, or, well, Spanish. Ill-tired. Asking Soda Meta doesn't seem to, or saying Soda Meta doesn't seem to match MX. Could be Guatemala as well. What is the Mexico soda meta? Wouldn't it just be Coke? Semi Marco asks, and your Russian class is still on? Sure is. I have yet to learn Russian. So, still taking it. There we go. Chiquita Bananas. Probably a sign toward Guatemala. Okay, Coke. Oh, we saw Pepsi. That's crazy. Mexico, of course, being the world's highest consumer of Coke. And that is, I feel like we've talked about this on here. There's certain areas in the South. I don't think Oaxaca, but some areas in the South, it's easier to get Coca-Cola than it is water. And that's why it's so big. In literal convenience. Oh, Sammy Marco saying, I thought you said the class was over a few weeks ago. It was, the first session was over, so now I'm in beginner 2. It's crazy. Tigo. That was actually funny, Drew. It was supposed to be, but then he decided he was done rushing through it. But that was a good one. Does that say Caudillo? Interesting. Ponal. This one's rough. It's 100% Guatemala or Mexico. Just a question of figuring out which one. So we need to see, honestly, if we could see a price somewhere. I do feel like bananas are more of a Guatemala thing. We saw Chiquita truck. We're seeing bananas on the side of the road right now. I want to Google the banana wars to see if we did bad things in Guatemala, but I can't because that's cheating. That is directly helping. Here we go, Coca-Cola right here. But nothing else helpful. Nothing else that is helpful here. Tienda Caddy, and then now we've got Pepsi. We had a Coke store and a Pepsi store now. How do we? Also not helpful. I feel like it's got to be Mexico. There's so many ways that we could. I'm so thrown. Coca-Cola. Sammy Marco asking you any insight on why so many internships I'm looking at are in Tampa or Orlando. I don't want to go to Florida. You shouldn't go to Florida. Terrible place. I don't know. That's wild. I can say my experience has not exactly been that there's much of a job market in Florida. Always kind of the opposite. And you're also in... I conceptually know what you're in, but I don't know how to, like... You're doing geographical... You're doing, like... Is it GSauce? Is that the... Why am I blanking on this? I know what it is, but I can't... There hasn't exactly been a big market for that in Florida. Not that I know... what the thing is. Someone help me out here, please. Put me out of my misery. GIS, that's it. GIS. Not GSauce. I was thinking GSOS. Transportation planning, internships. GIS is a tool we use for that and lots of other stuff. Okay. Yes. Yeah, I wouldn't think that Florida is a massive market for transportation planning. If anything, I would think there's none of that happening down there. So... that is confusing. They're really, like, applying for jobs in Central Florida, so Tampa, Orlando is always a bit of a nightmare. Excuse me, a bit of a nightmare because there's so few companies down there compared to, you know, some of the other major cities. Sammy Marco saying there's a lot of consultants that have offices there. Christopher Like saying there's so many internships in Florida because it's an attractive place for colleges. Yeah, job market, different story. That's a good way of putting it. That's a Q. That's a Q at that 3. It's Guatemala. 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 Boom. Got it. Finally out of there. That one was rough. Okay. This is Luxembourg, right? That's simple. Yep. Yellow plates. French, German. Boom. Semi Marco asking why is it attractive for colleges? I feel like, I mean, there's that big, I feel like nowadays it is popular to go to Florida at Concon. Oh, I've been here. Yes, I've been here. Yeah, Christopher like putting it well. Semi Marco, think of the, where exactly? I don't care. But yeah, pretty much fun to party as a young person. Okay, yeah, there we go. Church of Ghana, that easy. Right hand drive. That's, hold up. Oh, this is just Indonesia or Malaysia? Yeah, Malaysia. Okay. Semi Marco saying, huh? It's college age kids want to hang out in Florida and party, basically. But the jobs aren't there. As to why the internships are there, no idea. I guess if they're consultants, like you said, you can kind of just be based wherever you want. Also, Malaysia. But I will say, as someone who has job searched in Central Florida and other places, that was the place with the least fruitful job opportunities when I looked. So I'm surprised. All right, let's do Malaysia. Nice. Semi Marcos saying, yeah, a lot of people from Virginia Tech go to Florida for spring break, and I'm like, why? Where would you want to go instead? Western Springs Road, Finch Street. This is Australia, New Zealand, but which one? Let's go read this sign over here. Child's Play Unlimited. Also, I feel like AT Metro. Auckland Transit. Thirsty Liquor. I feel like gotta be Auckland, right? Yeah, Sammy Marco saying Auckland. Totally Chicken. Let's find a bit.co.New Zealand. Yep, we're good. Okay. Yeah, Christopher likes saying also job search Florida recently. Nothing stood out to me. Yeah. Okay, Sammy Marco saying Chicago, NYC, or Boston. Any other decent major city. Spring break, people like to go to the beach, though. That's the attraction. Just get away from the cold. But also, I totally agree with you on, I think it's a lost, okay, this is Ireland. I think it's a lost opportunity to do a week trip somewhere interesting. But also, like, the beach trip is also fun. So, I get both sides entirely. But what was I going to say? Yeah, with Christopher like saying job search Florida recently, nothing stood out to me. You know how you have friends, or even you yourself may experience it. Everybody knows somebody who's had an absolutely horrible job this is Brazil, horrible job that shouldn't have existed. Everything HR wise was horrible. Like, the people were terrible. They were breaking X, Y, and Z regulations. Like, those kind of jobs, those horrible ones. most of the Portuguese flag. My friends in Florida have experienced that way more often than my friends from other places. Does that make sense? Like adults. I don't mean like, oh, your job at the mall was kind of because that's gonna happen. But like professional jobs just being way all over the place. I feel like that has happened a lot more often with people I know in Florida than say here or DC. Is this Valletta? No. Okay, no, it's not. That's okay. That seems like it was a dumb thing to say. This is... We literally saw a Portuguese flag. My brain's just off. This is Portugal. That's Portuguese. Boom. Semi Marco saying I'm too old for all these youngins and their alcohol-filled parties. Fair enough. Old soul. Eastern Europe somewhere. Let's get out of wherever we're at and go somewhere with helpful information. How do we get out of here? Okay. Getting better. What's that plate? Yep, no idea. Nope. Not helpful. Ill-Tired saying I had an alcohol-filled party last night, bottling wine. What does Ill-Tired not create at home? That is awesome. Vigidville Lecarnu? I don't know. Potentially only single script. Drew saying Belarus. Probably not. This is probably Russia. Christopher likes saying, yeah, you'll find more tourist retail jobs in Florida than anywhere else in the U.S. That's 100%. UKR.net. Looking through it. Yep, there's an I. That's not in Russian. I'm pretty sure this is Ukraine. Any objections to that? Sammy Marco saying, I've always been an old soul. I would have felt the same when I was 19, but I've also never done it, so maybe it's fun. I just don't know. Nah. To each their own, man. Enjoy not trying. It's definitely better for you. At the very least. Alright, let's do it. Awesome. Oman, maybe? Is it the Omani flag? Nope, that's not the Omani flag. Great. Yeah, there we go. Some of the various Arab flags kind of run together in my mind. Also, my normal excuse of it's Sunday at night, my brain's off. Alright, UAE. Nice. Finland? Let's go this way. I'm almost certain this is Finland, and that we don't need to go looking around, but we're 41 countries. We're 41 deep at 904. That's crazy. That's actually... You know what? I'm not going to say anything. I'm gonna knock on wood and just not say anything. Oh, I am so excited because normally after the stream I just get to go to bed, but instead tonight I get to pack a bag to fly to Tampa tomorrow. So that's I'm so excited to do that. Yay. True saying it's always Finland this, Finland that. How about the Startland? That's a good one. I'll give you that one. No. Sammy Marco saying we did a round of GeoGuessr at the Geography Club. Geography Club sounds sick. We did not have that. Love that for you. People didn't even know what northern Finland looked like, and the language amateurs, lol. Sammy Marco, that's got to be one of those moments where we gotta, like... we know lots of really weird random things that will never be helpful in our lives. That doesn't look too Finnish. That looks more Swedish. Yeah, Sammy Marco saying good one, Drew. I'm skeptical about this being Finland now, if I'm totally honest. Yeah, yep, exactly, Sammy Marco. It's a Swedish A. This looks like a Swedish building. And this looks like a Swedish flag. This is Sweden. Okay, cool. For a second, I was really afraid that we were going to get a Swedish community in Finland. And it was like a moment of hesitation. Right-hand drive, looks tropical. What's this here? La Palma. Great. I'm sure there's only one of those in the world. 71 kilometers. Reduce speed. What's this one say? Okay. It's not helpful. Drew saying, only thing I know about Finland is the conspiracy that it's not real. I hate that I know what that is. I saw that on like one meme one time years ago, and I remember that. Exactly, Sammy Marco. La Palma is the Springfield of the Spanish world. That's a really great way of putting it. ECU, maybe Ecuador. Christopher Lexington would have loved geography club in high school. Instead, I was stuck in German club, high school in South Florida for you. German club is still pretty out there. I wouldn't expect that. Yep, that's the Ecuador logo. We are in Ecuador. Especially in South Florida. I feel like that's not the go-to second language. So we got... I almost said Spanish. This is French. No, it's English. What am I doing? Where is my brain? Yeah, thank you, All Tired, for pointing out that it is not French. Thank you. Okay. Drew saying, I was in a Latin dance club for 2 weeks sophomore year of high school or college. That's hilarious. Did you learn how to dance? This is okay. No, this is a one-way. Double gamma. That kind of looks like Ghana. I was confused. Okay, high school. Interesting. Ill-Tired saying I was in French club and model UN. Yep, that tracks for us all being on here. Accra. This is Ghana. Yep. Christopher, like, asking, are you okay, Ewan? Are we ever really okay? That's... I'm answering your question with a question. This feels like the Philippines. How do we get off this sidewalk? Okay, Drew. I understand this now. Sammy Marco asking where Drew went to college. Drew saying I went to USF. No, I only learned a lot about my Colombian classmate. Now it makes sense. Sammy Marco asking if this is the Bronx. No, it's too green. Yeah, takeaway. That's British English. But where? This looks kind of cold. This could be... You know what? I'm not saying words until I've got a better idea. Yeah, Sammy Marco saying Australia, New Zealand. Yeah, yeah. I'll be honest, there's this voice in the back of my head saying Canada. Just gotta find something. Oh, I guess we could just look at the plates. If the plates are very obviously not Canadian. These are Australia, New Zealand plates. Oh, and yeah, thank you, Sammy Marco. Canada doesn't drive on the left-hand side of the road. I feel like there are weeks where you shouldn't trust me with like the ability to decide. Sammy Marco saying doesn't look like Canada at all. It looked cold. Yeah, Christopher likes saying buildings look Australian. Victoria. Are we good with that? Melbourne, probably. The street lights, bike lanes, road markings all look Australia, New Zealand. Yep. Yep. That's why I kind of kept Canada to myself for a bit there. Alright. Good with Australia and not New Zealand here? Okay, Christopher likes saying knew it looked familiar, been on that road. That's helpful. Boom. Yep, we are indeed in Victoria, in Melbourne. I was near this road. I was down here. I walked out of Southern Cross Station, walked along down here, got pretty decent, but the most expensive Mexican food of my life in here. It's in this area. I don't know where exactly, though. Hacienda, Melbourne, I think. Really good, super expensive. And walked over here, crossed, I think, that bridge. Got on the train here, back to Southern Cross, and back to the airport. That was my amazing cultural journey into Melbourne. Sammy Marco saying you went there recently and didn't recognize it. Not on that street. Not on that street. Plus, I have a genuine track record on this stream of getting towns that I have been to and getting them wrong. Christopher like asking, did you walk into the casino? No, I had no idea there was a casino. Okay, what's going on here? This K that feels like it's a currency. Drew's saying he got our hometown wrong once. No way that happened. I refuse to believe that happened. I can recognize Florida like nobody's business. I refuse to believe that happened. There's no way it happened like on stream. I refuse to believe that. Where it was like a country. If it was the Florida map and it was a random street and you'd guess where in Florida it was. Maybe. I can see that. I refuse to believe I got it wrong on country streaks and saw our hometown and was like, this is another country. Yeah, Christopher likes saying I hadn't been there in 10 years and still recognized it. I refuse to believe that this is true. Sammy Marcos saying we should do a Florida round. I love doing a quick speed Florida round every now and then. If we die, we'll do it. Rory Shea saying yes, it was the Florida map. Okay. Why do you both remember this and I don't? Drew saying honestly could drop us in my driveway and I'd probably guess Ireland or something. Fair enough. Freezite joining in, saying I see you all enjoyed my retelling of Mr. Wang's story. Big ups, pimps. Yes. Freezite hit us with an interesting... It read like a copy pasta in the Discord during the week. I don't even know how to describe what it was, but it was interesting, for sure. Okay, Rory Shea saying you got it wrong. You guessed a different spot, but it was the hometown because that was crazy. I don't remember this. You can't get it if I got the same hometown. Like, oh, I don't know what that one house looks like. All from my brain, no AI help. I was thinking that. I was wondering if you cooked that up on ChatGPT. Sammy Marco asking, how did you and Drew meet? I was a lifeguard and he was a receptionist at the place I was a lifeguard. Oh, I guess West Palm. Oh. Whoops. That's Indonesian. Right? Indonesian flags. Yep, Indonesia. There we go. Drew saying, Freezite, you missed a chance to bully me about a woman. Freezite, don't fall for it. He's not just giving himself up willingly. There's a play here. There is a play. He wants you to walk into something. And it's either going to dunk on you or dunk on me. Most likely me. Don't walk into it. Alto, so Central America. Freezite saying 100% mine. Drew is a god amongst men. Antigua Golf Resort. Freezite saying he can't outsmart me. I'm the ghost of Southie. Yes, how is Boston? What a place. I'm sure it's getting pretty cold up there. It was a little chilly today. Oh, that's a cue. This is Guatemala. Any objections? I was walking around in a t-shirt and shorts and was freezing. But it might also just be sensitive to cold. Alright. We good? Boom. UK Center. This is just Pakistan. Right? This is almost certainly Pakistan. Drew saying, bro, what do you mean? That's a cue. That's Guatemala. That's the, it's the currency. It's the currency. But yeah, Sammy Marcus saying Boston in the fall must be amazing. For real. I just love being up north in the fall. It's so nice. It's been so nice having half decent weather. It's not on fire. Oh. Yeah, Freezite saying love it here this time of year. Might go to Vermont tomorrow. Absolutely love that for you. Vermont's got to be beautiful. Oh, I should go to Vermont like a month. I was low-key thinking of going back to Montreal in a few weeks, renting a bicycle and doing the trip that I wasn't able to walk on the bicycle, like just quick day trip, because I think it'll be beautiful up there. And that was honestly, of the videos that I've done, I think that was the most enjoyable one. I think. Like, I'm not looking at a full list of my videos, but I'm saying, like, least stressful. Like, nothing was massively annoying. Like nothing weird happened. Like, that was it was just a fun day. I think it'd be fun to do that, but I don't think I'm going to. Yeah, Christopher likes saying not Boston. Guatemala is popular tonight. I'm so confident that this is Pakistan. Can we do Pakistan here? Iltar saying, woo, I should crash minus the bike ride, make you speak French. I refuse to speak French. I refuse to get better at it. I refuse to, no. But yeah, Rory Shea saying Boston, the fall is the best place ever. Freezite saying, miss it here, my old home of the few I've had. Didn't know you were a former Bostonian. It's a great place. That's one of the few places I could move to within the U.S. Like outside of like D.C., Boston, New York. Sammy Marco saying goes to Montreal, doesn't speak French at all. I can read it and understand what's happening to an extent. But yeah, I mean, if not speaking a language stopped me from going places, there would be a lot of places that I've been that I would not have gone. So, meh. All right, we're doing Pakistan. Got it. Freezite saying there's a spot where you can get upscale maple bourbon. Sounds incredible. That does sound really nice. I didn't know that was a thing. Maple bourbon. This feels like Peru. It's a Freezite saying I'm a vagabond at heart. This is definitely Peru. Freezite saying make the French English fat change, bro. I don't understand that. I don't understand that comment. But yeah, exactly, Drew. It's a power move. I feel like I've mentioned this before on the Avenue Peru. That's not enough. There are a lot of. Okay, that's a Peruvian flag. That's enough for me. Let's do it. Yep, we're in Lima. What's it? Yeah, I feel like I've mentioned this. I was walking through Mexico City one time with a friend from France. And she was telling me the story of somebody in the hospital, and he was German and couldn't find an English speaker. He was being kept in a hospital in Argentina, and they couldn't explain to him what had happened. I don't know how they didn't have Google Translate or something, but he spoke English. Nobody else in the hospital spoke English. And I said to her, I was like, that's interesting, because as a native English speaker, I just assume that anywhere I go, there's an English speaker somewhere. Like maybe not in the room. There's German bus signs, so Germany or Austria. But I was saying, like, from experience, the expectation is, someone nearby understands English generally, no matter where you are. And she was like, what? You just go around the world expecting that? And I'm like, yeah. From experience. It's not from a place of like, oh, they should speak my language. It's just how it's always worked. Nuremberg, that is Germany. Any objections to that? Yeah, and that's a German highway sign. Maple bourbon bros, stand up. Maple bacon cheddar poutine. Don't even say that. I'm so disappointed I can't eat poutine anymore. Yep, Nuremberg. We're at 50. What did we get the other week? We got 51 or 53. That was the most we've ever done in the stream. Yeah, exactly. Sent me Marco 5,000 calories. Freezite saying all tired knows what's up. Send me Marco asking why can't you eat poutine. I've mentioned this, the gallbladder thing. Can't have fatty foods. It's literally fries with cheese curds and gravy. So it's like everything. I can't touch it. I am afraid of what would happen. Exactly, Christopher. Like we are flying. If I just, no. I remember one night just walking around Toronto, spending all night going from place to place. It was like a beer and a poutine, please. Yeah. Wonderful. Okay, let's put our thinking caps on. Left-hand drive. This is Malaysia. Right. Yeah, Semi-Marcus saying Malaysia. Freezite saying no more carnitas burritos, then part of me just died. No, this has been a thing for years. I can handle a certain amount. But something like poutine would just be a nuke. It would absolutely destroy me. Like I haven't had a strip of bacon in, what year is it right now? I don't know. I haven't had bacon in like 4 years. Which sucks, but that's life. This has got to be Malaysia. Christopher likes saying Indonesia, though. I'm seeing a bit too much English, though. That's my issue here. But okay, I saw Bandar on a sign. Bandar province is in Indonesia. Okay. We'll keep looking. 'Cause we're torn. Tired saying I'll order 2 for you, 1 for me. 1 in the spirit for you. Thank you. Thank you, Tired. I appreciate it. Ah, I miss it. Yeah, it's not helpful. Freezite saying, yeah, gallbladder seems to be useless. I was talking to an RN friend about it. Chuck it, get your carnitas groove on. So I've heard mixed things about this. Like I know people who've had it removed, and like I've heard stories where people then it's worse. Like your body's ability to process fatty foods is worse than it was before. And then I have one friend who got it removed, and he's just completely fine and can eat whatever he wants. So it's kind of like, Also, I can't be bothered to get it removed because, does that say Indonesia? It does. We're good. So, yeah. Sick. Whoops. In my defense, it said Indonesia. So, what am I supposed to do in that situation? I was thinking Uganda. The plates didn't match. So, I... What? In what world? In what world is this Panama? Alright, I'm seeing people say Florida map time. We'll do the Florida map. Florida is the... Come on, Bluetooth keyboard. Florida. Ah, yes, of course, Drew's saying he would guess that. Drew, a brilliant GeoGuessr mind. See, I've gotten near perfect on the Florida one. Sammy Marco saying it didn't look like Indonesia. Indonesia has a different vibe. I was thinking Malaysia at first, too. That's the thing. I was also on that boat. It's a shame. Drew saying having chronic illnesses and injuries is like a solid 70% of my personality. It is, honestly. It actually is. This is Orlando. But not proper Orlando. This is like suburban Orlando. This is going to be like Alamonte Springs. That didn't happen. Sammy Marco saying no move. I just won't move. My plan was to not move. Circle K. Drew actually has enough of... No, Drew has Speedway points. Never mind. Freezite asking where's Mickey Mouse. Mickey Mouse isn't in Miami. This is somewhat north, but not too north. This is it Brooksville? Let's make this Brooksville. Boom. crazy. Crazy good. This is a tough one. There's water right here. This looks kind of janky. I think this is South Florida. Drew's saying I've been to this speedway. I mean Circle K. Have you actually? I think this is around Homestead. No. Worse. What I'm terrified is that I get an area around where I grew up and then I get bullied for not knowing it. I think this is Fort Myers-ish. Fort Myers Beach. No, it's Destin. Sammy Marco's saying it's crazy how Ewan's mood changes after the loss. It's just so demoralizing. You know? Wow. All right, we'll do it officially on no move. So, what are the no move? It's the no move record. I thought I was on the top 25 for no move. All right, we can do this. Okay, Drew's saying he was legitimately at it earlier this year on the way to a tournament. I feel like that's not true. I know exactly where this is. This isn't Florida. This is Alabama. We're restarting. So, having played this map a bunch of times, I will say I learned that the southern coast of Alabama is included in this map for some reason. This... Borishay saying, bro. Freezite saying, gotta go enjoy your night, guys. Big ups. Big ups, Freezite. Enjoy yourself. Yeah, Arturo Hernandez saying, yikes. So this is either southwest or southeast Florida, and I can't figure out which one. Drew's asking, isn't this just like Seminole? I don't think so. Yeah, Christopher likes saying Miami, which is what I think this should be. So, Southwest 18th Street. Here it is. And then we want 82nd Place. Where's 82nd Place? Yeah, and now Southwest 18th Street has ended. Nope, it's back. 56th Avenue. Yeah, I'm pretty confident this is not correct. Yeah, 86th Street. Yeah, 82nd Court. That's not right. 82nd Avenue. Wait, 82nd Place. Wait, this is it. Got it. Got it right on the dot. Right on the dot. Love it. It's not Seminole. Sammy Marco saying good night. I have an 8 a.m. tomorrow and have to get up at 6:30. Yikes. Have fun with that. Enjoy yourself. This is middle of nowhere. This is YOLO. Okay, we can do this. Yeah, Christopher likes saying Miami. I recognize that. Yeah, Miami with the numbered streets is helpful. Boyette Road. Sunrise Homes. Building. Brighter Tomorrow. Drew saying this is where we dropped our friend off at diabetes camp. It does look like it. Hillsborough County. Okay. So let's go to Hillsborough County. Boyette Road. Tomentosa Avenue. There's some logo here. Boyette Road's really all we've got, and that runs south. Bruceby Downs. Boyette Road. Where could that be in Hillsborough County? Oh. Valrico. Rory Shea saying branding coded. Okay, okay. We're cooking. Drew saying this is South Hillsborough for sure. Rory Shea saying Valrico Brandon, yeah. Let's go further down. Oh my god, that's Boyette Road. Guys, we're so cooking. Boyette and Grubbs. Or Tomentosa. We're so cooking. Christopher likes saying Riverview. Yep, that seems to be where we are. How far does Boyette? Okay, Boyette's pretty limited. So Boyette goes down here. Harvestwood, Gentle Woods, Watercolor, Fish Eagle, and then Boyette comes this way. But we're on north-south Boyette, so we can skip this. Blue Dasher, Carlson Oak, Grubbs, and Tomentosa. Alright, we're absolutely killing this. I don't want to hear a single word about me not doing well on the Florida map now. Orlando, Titusville. So that's the Turnpike. That's the Florida Turnpike. I think I know where this is. Winter Garden, Claremont. So Winter Garden, it's Claremont's up here. Here's Winter Garden. What road is this? Something Ford is the north-south, but we want the east-west. Anywhere we can get that. Okay, but east to the Turnpike. Keep going east to get to the Turnpike. Wait, okay, so yes, east is that way. Winter Garden's that way, so we are just east of Winter Garden. Is the 429 the toll road? 408 is the toll road. So where is that? I think the toll road goes to... Yeah, there's 408. 'Cause I thought it went through Sanford. Right? It's not worth looking at that. Okay. Back to where we found the 408. Which I've now lost. There it is. Okay. Are we just on the 408? Is that what this is? 408, 408. 408. There's the Turnpike. So, yeah, heading east is the Turnpike, but that doesn't make sense if Winter Garden and Claremont are west and... Wait. No, that does make sense. I'm just being stupid. Turnpike is this way. So how do we... Guys. Oh, yeah, Winter Park. And not... Yeah, Winter Park, Winter Garden. Getting those confused. 408. So this way is Orlando, Titusville. 428. And you can go east and get on the Turnpike. I'm thrown here. I will be so honest. I'm a little turnaround. Winter Garden is here. Genuinely, if we could just see that. Wait. That's Blueford. Got it. Blueford intersects with... I have no idea. It's like Lombard or something. Blueford. Is there a Waffle House and a racetrack? There's a racetrack. There's a Waffle House. We got it. We so got it. We are in front of the Advanced Automotive. We're absolutely killing this. And I say that, and then we get this. This could be anywhere. Where do we think this is? I'm feeling here. Any thoughts on that? I'm just going to do that. Oof. That's a really good score, though. Yeah, Christopher likes saying Palatka. That's pretty much where I went. Drew saying the trees give Alachua. Kind of where I went. So where are we on the no move rankings now? We didn't even place. We got so close and didn't even place. All right, where are people getting that they're doing this? Yeah, let's watch this. So their first round was where? That's pretty gettable. I will be so honest. Yeah, that's pretty gettable. 8 seconds. Bruh. 13 seconds, 15 seconds. Okay, so this next one they got in 13 seconds. Okay, I got it wrong. Kind of. Yeah, that's Miami. This is a Miami bin. Round 3. Is that another Miami one? Foley. This is Alabama. Interesting. Round 4. Again, No, round 4. Went for the water. Where is this? Okay. Then round 5 was literally in the center of Gainesville. Amazing. I don't know if I'd go Gainesville here. Interesting. Okay. What else can we do here? Uh-oh. Drew's worst fear. Dumb test. Oh no. Drew, look out. Viña del Mar. That'd be a cool one. Been there. Let's do... Ooh, Christopher likes World Capitals map. I could be... Ooh. Iltired saying Belarus map. We've done both of those, though. Let's think outside the box. I want to do something that we've never done before. What is something we've never done before? Planes. Let's find out what we get. Oh, look at that. Iltard literally said airport lounges. An Aero World, planes, rockets, and more. Plane spotting. That's dark. Historic warplanes. I feel like plane spotting would be solid. Let's try this. This is cool. I like this. Oh, this is sick. Okay. This is fun. Tenerife? So Ryanair flight, Europe, beach, approaches from the southwest. There. So approach from the south. Where's the airport? Am I dumb? There it is. Okay, nope. That's in the middle of the island. Funchal. What do we think here? Could be Spain. Okay, Iltar saying there are 2 airports in Tenerife, I thought. I looked along because I could have sworn there was an airport on the water in Tenerife. I don't see it. I mean, I see this one. I don't see the other. You know what? Unless it's Spain somewhere. Chicken King Ye saying this is India. Does Ryanair go to India? I'm gonna roll with Tenerife. There we go. Yep. Yep. So I'm considering that pretty solid. I don't see a plane here. Oh, I do see a plane now. Propeller plane. This is interesting. I don't know what to make of this. The mountains are throwing me off here. Yeah, El Tide saying cruise ships, so maybe Caribbean island. That's a good shot. Let's talk of Boston, Cape Cod. Yeah, I'm sure. I think we go, yeah, Caribbean somewhere. Cruise ship, so let's do... Honestly, let's do Virgin Islands. Hawaii. Awesome. And then we've got this nightmare. Yukon, Alaska. Hedge bets go halfway between them. Iltard saying Antarctica. I don't know if they can land planes like that in Antarctica. And I don't think anything's built up enough like this in Antarctica. Let's do, I don't know, here. Yeah, it was Iqaluit. Definitely said that wrong. Arturo Hernandez asking, is this still the Florida map? No, it is very much not still the Florida map. Alright, ANA flight. This, okay, well, this just is Japan. Okay, so which random Japanese airport is this? Let's do Sapporo. No. Multiple planes coming in. This is not as easy as it seemed. I thought this was going to be... that kind of looks like an Iberia Airlines flight. This looks like Paris Beauvais. Let's do Paris Beauvais. Where's the Beauvais airport? It's here. We're in the bushes. Very off. Okay. Let's not do that. Let's try to not leave ourselves at 0 come the start of next week. Drew saying, I don't get how the planes are meant to help you here. It's just like, you know, I don't know. Nope, that's a misclick. I don't know, you know, maybe you see like a Ryanair flight, you recognize the area around it, and you're like, this is this, you know? Botswana. I'm also YOLOing this because there are 10 minutes left, so I'm thinking of this as If we get something, we get something. It's a slight boost for us next week. So this is Norway. Yep. And then this is the UK or Ireland. This is Ireland. Boom. This is Austria. Love it. This is Italy. Yep. This is Oriole Park at Camden Yards. Okay. This is Monaco. Got it. This is... I'll actually have to move for this one. I feel like it's Hungary. Chicken King is saying Poland. I think you could be right there. Netherbeat. That doesn't sound Hungarian or Polish. Iltard saying yeah, we can slow down. We're at 6 with 8 minutes left. Fair enough. For sale. That's in English. The rest of it doesn't seem to be. David Van Trub is saying it's New Zealand. Yeah, looks like left-hand drive. You could very much be correct. So let's keep looking a bit. And okay, we'll do some reading. McKinnon Automotive. Yep, that tracks. 65. Yeah, this is more and more looking like New Zealand. Yeah, gobus.co.nz. Sick. Got it, we're at 7, and this is just gonna be Mediterranean, but I don't know where. Cool. Is that Turkish? David Ventrup saying it's North Macedonia. I don't think it is. Because we're Turkey. North Macedonia would be dual script. This is only one, and yeah, we'll do Turkey here. Exactly, I'll tie the S thingy curve and the C as well. Turkey, got it. No, I was thinking, what I was thinking, I might be wrong. Yeah, it's, I was kind of thinking Rwanda for a second, but it's Kenya. Okay. Let's go over here. See, look at this. By not, by not just sitting around and taking the loss, we've now got, we've got 9 more that we can start with next week. We've got English, looks tropical. God is Good, Victoria, Fashion Home. I feel like we see the God is Good stuff mostly in Nigeria and Ghana. And we are right-hand drive, right? Which would be... yeah, that tracks. This is Nigeria or Ghana. Question is, which one? We're not being followed by a follow car. This is likely Ghana. but I have nothing to support that. There's like nothing else. Of the two, there's the tape. Let's just do it. Yeah. Okay. Sun is to the north directly. This is the Atacama. Exactly, Christopher. Like, we've had no follow car in Nigeria before, which is why I was skeptical there. It's too lush to be the Chilean part of the Atacama, I think. Mountains are to the east, which would make me be incorrect. Maybe this is even southern Peru. Either way, if we see a sign, it's going to be in Spanish. Chicken King saying Australia. Not certain about that, but could be. Yeah, this one's rough. This one is gonna... I don't see us getting this one in the closing 3 minutes. Just clicking into the abyss, hoping to get something. Just clicking and clicking and clicking and clicking and nothing happening. Could have read that mile marker at the bottom. Or kilometer marker. But we're past it. And there will be more to come. So let's just truck on, try to find the sign in the closing 3 minutes, and maybe that sign will say something like, you know, Santiago, 30 kilometers, and we can get it. Oh, are we coming up to stuff, or are those just bigger trees? I don't know, because this is... There we go. Nothing. That might be a sign out in the distance, though. I think I see a sign. Getting there. Getting there. Almost. Too far. Yeah. So, not Australia. It would have been nice if those were in English. It actually would have made this significantly easier. But this is definitely Atacama. I kind of just want to call it here, given we have 2 minutes left and we're in the middle of the desert, so there's not really going to be anything else happening. But for the sake of it, we'll keep rolling. Chicken King Ye saying it's got to be Chile. Just guess. Not gotta keep. Oop. Freezed up on me there, or froze up on me there. Yeah, Chicken King Ye saying Chile. Il Tired saying Argentina. As well, keep rolling. And then I feel like this kind of breaks the slump we've been in of starting streaks, getting to the 50s, because this is the second week in a row we got to the 50s, and then lost it on something stupid. We're starting next week with a streak of 10. And then that whole... It's not YOLOable from the get-go. We'll just hop in here and take it easy. Be normal. Yeah, Il-Tired saying good point. Maybe if we do one fun round, then pick it back up right away. Exactly. Just no more YOLO 50s. But with that, it is 10 p.m., so no more roaming the desert randomly. Thankfully. So, with that, we're at 10, which is better than 0. And we will pick this up again next Sunday, 8 p.m., as always. So, with that, everybody have a great night and a wonderful week. And I'll see you next time.